Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today we're doing another Q&A. I have not done one in a little while, and so I want to get back to doing some. Today's question is about food at the major league level. Now, I did a video on this a couple of years ago, but it's been some time now, and I've gotten asked probably about 1,000 times this same question. So if you have seen the other video, I'm going to try to hit on some new things today. If you haven't, perfect. You can watch this one. So, food at the major league level. Let's talk about this in a couple of different ways. The first thing is you're getting paid a whole lot of money to play Major League Baseball, okay? So the options for food are much, much different than in the minors when it's like, let's eat McDonald's every day, okay? So when I was in the major leagues, I was getting paid league minimum, which at that time was around like $400,000. And so, again, you're only getting paid in season, so just remember that. A lot of people yell at me when I do this math, and they're like, that makes no sense. You only get paid in season, okay? And you don't get paid in spring training. But I was making probably just under $2,500 a day when I was up in the major leagues. And so when you're getting paid a little under $2,500 a day, and you're used to being paid in the minors like a couple bucks a day, you can pretty much eat wherever you want. Okay, so it would not be uncommon for after a game or something to just go out and eat at like a Ruth Chris, or there was when I was in San Diego, there's a restaurant called Donovan's, which was basically like a really fancy steakhouse. And now for me, it's like if you're gonna eat at some place like that, it's gonna be for like an anniversary or like some big event or something. But when you're playing the major leagues, it's like you're like, oh, what can we eat tonight? And you're not really afraid to go eat at like a Donovan's or something like that because the meal costs a couple $100, but you made $2,500 for the day. So you still got like $2,300 that you can put in the bank, or you blow it on something, whatever you want to do with it. You've got plenty of money, so you can go out and treat yourself to some nice meals. So that's one of the biggest differences between the minor leagues and the major leagues. When you're getting paid nothing in the minors and you're eating a lot of fast food, and then the major leagues, literally you can go pretty much wherever you want. On top of that, you're getting, just remember, at least when I was up, you get $100 a day in meal money when you're on the road. So if you go on like a 14-day road trip or something, I don't know why 14. I guess sometimes you could possibly go on a 14-day road trip. You can make $1,400 in cash. Okay, so you can just take that money and go out to eat every night if you want, pretty much. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things when it comes to food at the major league level is the restaurants that you go to. Or just the room service. So like when I was on the road, I remember a lot of times we fly into a city, you get in kind of late, like really late, and I wouldn't want to go. There's not a lot of restaurants open, but you can sometimes get room service, and I'd get like really nice stuff for room service. So again, you've got you just got, let's say you get to DC. I remember we got to DC, and you get $100 a day. And so you get in and you're like, oh, I don't really feel like going out, or I've been on a long flight or whatever. So I'll just order, a nice big meal, nice steak and stuff from room service, which in the minor leagues, you would never, ever, ever do that. In the minor leagues, I got $20 a day. Now it's $25 a day. And you got to make that last for 3 meals. And so, you're getting like a bowl of soup or something if you're ordering room service in the minor leagues. Probably not even a big bowl of soup, probably like the small version of the soup. Okay, so that's a huge part of the meals and part of the food. Now let's talk about what happens at the stadium. Let's start on the road. Okay, so every stadium is going to have like a little, I don't know what you want to call it, like a dining area, okay? And certain stadiums are better than others. So, like I made my debut at Dodger Stadium, and one thing I remember about that stadium is that the locker room was old and the food wasn't very good. Like I remember, I'll kind of try to describe the dining area. It was kind of this small little room, and it was like kind of like buffet style, where the food was kind of around the border of the room, and it would be like not the greatest stuff. Like I remember I ate chicken fingers and fries there like pretty much after every game. And I'm a pretty picky eater, and I actually I'm not mad about this. I was actually pumped when I looked. I was like, oh, chicken fingers and fries, beautiful. But that's not something you'd probably expect at a major league clubhouse. And so I ate a lot of that there. But then there's some stadiums where you get fed like really, really well, and you can basically eat almost anything. I do remember in Milwaukee, one of my favorite things is they had like a bunch of candy that you could go in and get like, unlimited amounts of like Swedish fish and stuff. And so I remember I was like packing up bags of like Swedish fish and Sour Patch Kids and stuff and like taking it back to my hotel room so I could eat it all night long. So every clubhouse is a little bit unique, and some have really, really good food and some have not the greatest food. But in general, I know I said Dodger Stadium was kind of like, chicken fingers and fries and stuff, but most of the stadiums that I played at serve like really nice food, and you could get, at a lot of places, you just tell them what you want, and they would cook it for you. And it was especially like that at home. So when you play, like for us at Petco, when I'd go into the stadium every day, I could pretty much not order anything. Again, I have a really bad diet, especially when I was playing. I shouldn't say especially when I play. It's still horrendous. Like I like Chinese food and hamburgers and pizza and chicken fingers and fries, and like I eat like my son, and he's 4. We have like the same diet. Actually, he has a better diet than me. My wife doesn't let him eat all that stuff. So I'd go into the stadium and I'd be like, usually be like, hey, can I have a hamburger? Like literally, I'd ask for a hamburger, or like, chicken sandwich. If I was feeling really healthy that day, I'd ask for a chicken sandwich, and they just cook it right up for you, boom, 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 and they'd give it to you. And so that's what I did oftentimes when I went in there. Now you could order better food than that, but again, my diet wasn't always the best, and I'm really a picky eater, and I kind of like hamburgers are probably like my favorite food, one of my favorite foods. The other cool thing about the major leagues is that I was making $2,500 a day or a little bit under that because I was league minimum, about $400,000 for the year. But you have some guys making $10 million a year, $15 million a year, right? Some teams have guys making like $30 million a year. And so sometimes, like with us, guys would bring in different types of food. Like I remember Brian Giles would bring in a sushi chef, and they would have like sushi there, and the chef would just have all kinds of sushi. All right, so that happens sometimes where players literally like will bring in chefs or have certain nights, and you can if you want to eat the clubhouse food, you can, again, because it's really good at most places. But when you have a sushi chef that's cooking you basically unlimited amounts of sushi, that's a really nice option that, again, you don't get in the minor leagues. Although, when Brian Giles was rehabbing, when I was in high A, Brian Giles rehabbed. He had hurt something, I don't remember what it was, but he had to do some rehab games, and he would buy us the most amazing food in the minor leagues. I remember he had one night, he had Outback Steakhouse, which I was a huge fan of. I still kind of am a big fan of Outback Steakhouse. Like their cheese fries, amazing. Bloomin' onion, amazing. And for a short time, they had a combo where they would do a bloomin' onion with cheese fries on top of it. I don't think they still do it. In fact, they don't do it at the one near me. I tried to get that a couple nights ago. But he had an Outback, basically, like, he had them come in and cater food for us. I remember they had, like, grills outside the clubhouse, and they're cooking up steaks out there for us. So that's really the only time you really eat really well in the minor leagues, is when a big leaguer, and not all big leaguers, not all guys are like that, but a lot of them are. And Brian Giles was like one of the best. He treated the minor league players amazingly well. So that's really the only time you eat well there. But again, those guys in the major leagues, like, they do the same thing, and they're the guys that make a lot of money. A lot of them treat their teammates really, really well. And in San Diego, when I was there, we had a lot of young guys, a lot of rookies. And didn't have a ton of like really, really well-paid major leaguers, but we had a couple. Like Brian Giles was one of our guys that made a lot of money, and he was really, really good about helping all of his teammates. So, so that's a basic idea of what the food is like in the major leagues. Let me know if I missed anything. I think I pretty much covered everything there is to cover. But if you have any more specific questions, let me know, and I will try to make another video if I missed anything. Subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Share the video with all your friends. I'd really appreciate that. Give it a like, thumbs up, whatever it's called. And that's all I got. Thank you again so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.